Hi, everybody. So we'll be starting in about 2 minutes. We just need to set up real quick and then we'll go live. All right, everybody. Welcome again to another after hours session. This is day 3 of the first week, and we have Esther Eze here with us. I'm not going to take too much time, so I'll leave her to do her introductions and we can get started. But before she does, just so we know that there's people out there. Okay, I see Okuti, I see Marvel. Great guys, great guys. Let's get like a vibe check. Let's see what's going on. How's everyone feeling tonight? I'm particularly hyped for the session. So yeah, let's take it away, Esther. Stage is yours.
Hi everyone. My name is Esther Eze, and I am currently the co-founder of Faces of Web3. I say currently because I'm doing other things as well. So, I wanted to talk about the creator economy, but especially the ownership economy pertaining to Africans, because it's a topic that's close to my heart. So I'll try and talk about how I came into the Web3 space before going into why I really, really dig the creator economy. So I came into Web3 while I've been working for this artist, Owanite, for like since 2020, actually. And then what we did mainly was acted as an artist manager. I wrote stories, I wrote briefs, I spoke to clients. I went and got us clients as well. That was the entirety of the work while I was doing other things as well. And then when Web3 happened, he came into Web3. Since I wasn't an artist, I didn't see any need for coming into Web3 as well, because he was just talking about, oh, we drew this thing in our group, we're talking about selling it. I was like, okay, good luck and kudos. I like that you're having fun. And that this is helping you quit your job, your 9 to 5. But I don't see how I can basically contribute. And so we just kept working like that until he got the idea to create the Afrodroids collection. For anyone who doesn't know it, the Afrodroid collection is an exploration of Afrofuturism. I wanted to, had the art, but I told the story of how, what would, a story of the future where humans somehow, and it's something we see right now with AI and all the AI apps, but where humans meld with AI, we get all of their sharpness, their intelligence, and none of the entire human things that make us dumb and stupid. So that was the story I wanted to tell. The Afrodroids project. Oh, my camera is not turned on. Sorry. Do you want to see my face? Oh goodness, I'm not. Um. Okay, give me like 2 minutes. I'll turn on my camera.
All right, guys. Esther will be back with us in a bit. She was hoping for a very interactive session, so she'll just give you a bit of a background of herself, what she is, what she's done, and just dive into it basically. She doesn't have anything too formal planned out, but yeah, she's gonna turn on the camera soon. Um, all right, guys.
Hey guys, hi everybody. Shout out to everybody for coming in. This is the day three of After Hours session with Esther Eze. I see everybody favorites from our past two shows. It's great to have you guys coming here. Shout out to you, Marvel. Shout out to you, Okotie Braye. Shout out to you. Yeah, I see your shout outs too, bro. Shout out to you, Kemi. Shout out to you, Eze. It's definitely going to be another amazing session, guys. Do stick around. Um, Esther is about to put on a camera, like she said, so give her a couple minutes, and then we'll keep the ball rolling. All right, guys.
All right. So in the meantime, I know this it says creator economy in Web3, but I mean, if anybody wants to share what exactly about the session brought them here, what exactly are you expecting from the session? Let's just like chat a bit in the section, in the comment section. Beyond DSA, all right, Esther's ready.
Hi, you put me under so much pressure. I didn't intend to turn on my camera, but okay. Yeah. So I was talking about how I stopped out, how I joined the Web3 space. Uh, although, and pertaining specifically to Afrodroids. So after we launched the project, which by Web3 standards was a success, but I still think that we failed in some way because we had things that we wanted to achieve through that project. We wanted to make a short film, based off of the story. We wanted to make comic books. And then we wanted to create a space. There was something called African Creator Group that we also intended on creating. Just a place where, based off of the comic books, more creators, writer, and by creators I mean writers, designers, artists, could just jump on the Afroduet wagon and create something. That was the idea. So although we sold out and we were already in talks with people from Hollywood, they really liked the story. I'm not capping. And then, but it all fell through because of the Web3 idea. First of all, people in the group, collectors who had collected the Afrojoids. All they wanted to do was, oh, when price rise, when are we doubling our investments? When are we seeing returns? We want it now. We want it today. People also, and then while we were trying to solve for that, we're trying to get more collectors in. I actually brokered a partnership with Don Jazzy, and the onboarding flow was the problem because people didn't understand Web3. They didn't understand why they should be coming into Web3. And so those are the problems I saw. And I was like, okay, how to solve for this? First problem, why should normal people jump on Web3? Second problem, why, how to convince people that Web3 buying NFTs are a worthy investment. And that's being my gospel with Faces of Web3. Back to the creator economy. I wanted to be a writer before joining Web3, before being a business dev or a community manager or an operations manager, all the things I do now. I wanted to make films. I got a degree in English language. I left school in 2020, and I basically said interning with a filmmaker. His name is Imo Moren. I wanted to be a director. I was writing short scripts. And then when the pandemic hit in full force, and I was like, oh, you have to do something else. And it's that writing skill that I took to, working with OWO and now with Faces of Web3. And then with all of the creators I've been speaking with, courtesy of our interviews at Faces of Web3, everyone has the same, tells the same story. I wanted to be a creator. As a creator, you won't make money in Web3. You won't make money as an African. Nobody's going to buy your work. Creators are not regarded anywhere, especially in Africa, which is basically, and in Nigeria, which is basically, one of the poverty capitals of the world. So I began thinking, so when Web3 came, I was like, the best way to succeed as a creator and as someone who's supporting a creator is through Web3, the ownership economy. And I'll explain. I have like a PDF I prepared like a while ago. So I'm breaking this down as simply as I can. If you want the PDF, I'll just share it. It's very rough. I had a lot of things to do this week, so I couldn't prepare something else. Let me just share the link in the comment box. So here's the link in the comment box. I don't think I can send to the general group, I think.
I'll forward it to them.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So as a filmmaker and as someone who doesn't really support, I don't have any favorite artists or any favorite musician I can die for, kill myself for. So I'm going to take the ownership and the creator economy from this perspective. As a writer and as a budding filmmaker, I'm trying to make money, then head back to that career. Web3 is, I'll use like a very lame term, good for you, because it helps you nurture your own community. It helps you also earn from your community. You can earn directly. You can sell access to your work. You can sell access to books. You can sell access to your music. You can sell access to anything. I see all the time, I am subscribed to a lot of newsletters, and all the time is the same story. I'm not in any way affiliated with musicians. And if I did know how to jump in there, I would just enter there and start singing all of the praises. I actually tried to meet with Mr. Eze as well, just to partner with him for Faces of Web3, but it didn't work out. Musicians are always saying streaming networks are taking all of our money. We don't get paid enough. Before Spotify will pay the producers, before Spotify will pay, all of the people that are involved in that process. The artists only takes a little amount, all of the other middlemen take a chunk of the profits. And I also did a deep dive into, creators on TikTok and IG, Pinterest. As Africans, you earn, when people do adverts on your work, market through you, as a creator on YouTube, TikTok, or Pinterest, as an African creator specifically, you earn $1 while your counterparts earn $100. That's what happens. In fact, there was a recent interview with TikTok's creator TikTok's founder, where he said that he doesn't even pay TikTok creators the money that they earn, that it's just for show. So look at where we are now. The tech companies are not even prospering. and creators, how would you prosper? It's through Web3, through ownership, through owning your community, through owning your means of creation, through owning your, just getting money directly to you. I don't think I'm explaining this well, but please bear with me. It's confusing because I can't see people I'm talking to. So it's just very all over the place for me. I can't see people I'm talking to. So it's like, who am I talking to?
I mean, we're here. You can always like bounce off us, and we can really like the vibes from the comment section. I've added DSA, so it makes you feel more comfortable.
Phew, awesome. Thank you. It's just very,
Yeah.
I'm not seeing anybody and they're not seeing me. It was just very, it was perfect for me. But like turning on my camera is stressing me out. So yes, and as fans, I'm going to take it from the perspective of fans. I've always hated the idea of musicians or artists or filmmakers when they blow up. The next thing you see is, I owe nobody my grace. I owe nobody anything. It's always been very particularly annoying to me. I find it very, very annoying because, like, why is it so easy for you to disregard people? I also find it annoying that, as you know, you and maybe Wizkid could start from the same place. You grew up together in Surulere, and then you've been stunning him for 20 years. And in 20 years, or you've been stunning him for 5 years. And in that 5 years, he's now like a multi-billionaire. And you've been buying all of his CDs. You've been going to his shows. And the only thing you have to show for it is, oh, I'm a Wizkid fan, or like you have Busy Baba in your name. I find it annoying. I cannot say how deeply it annoys me. And as people who are fans, because I hate it, I've never stand anybody. So like I hate things deeply. So because of that, I don't stand anyone. As fans, I think that fans should be able to earn money as people that they stand become richer. That I stand on that ground. I don't think that, I'm signed up to, Maven's email list. And I was one of the first people that Don Jazzy sent her when Ayasta was still trying to come up. Don Jazzy sent me a lot of free tickets to join Ayasta shows, and now they cost money. If I had, wanted to, I went to some of them, but if I had wanted to, I think that people who went when Ayasta was still relatively unknown, if you had that ticket, if that ticket was minted on a website, you should be able to resell that ticket today and make money. I don't think that anything that we do is worthless. I think that everything that you do, whether you're contributing as a writer, you're tweeting, whether you are basically just posting pictures on IG, there should be a way that you could, or basically just one saying, oh, I really love listening to Victoni's music. I think that there should be a way to get your money back, because by doing that, you ensure that you keep getting richer and the people who support you get richer as well. If there's a way to, oh, I'm selling tickets, these are my very first tickets, my very first fans, and as I grow, my fans make money. It ensures that more people come into your community, even as small, maybe you have only 1,000 fans in the beginning. There's something called the theory of 1,000 fans. I don't think I will go into that, but I will go into that later if I should. And it's the idea that you only need 1,000 people. The 1,000 fans idea is that you only need 1,000 people to support you, rally around you for you to make money. If 1,000 people start buying your stuff for 100 naira daily, monthly, you make $100,000 by the end of the year. I actually did a small calculation as well. I'm trying to launch a small course. It's called it's just a copywriting course. I did a very small calculation. For me to make 500,000 naira this month, just this month, I only need 50 people to buy my course for 10,000 naira each. So with Web3, thank you, Machiavelli, I think that's the spelling of your name. When we ensure that our supporters our fans make money as we make money. We're ensuring that the circle continues to, grow. We're ensuring that there's more value for people who are coming into our community. Of course, Web3, sorry.
All right, guys. I think we're going to be taking a little short break while she does what she's about to do. I hope everybody's following up. I hope everybody's enjoying the session. I hope you've been able to grasp a thing or two. I hope you have your notes going. It's been great so far, and there's still a whole lot of knowledge to be passed across. All right, guys. She's back. Let's go.
Yeah, my neighbors are poor. Sorry, I have an inverter. They don't. Yeah, I just turned on the gens. I went to close my window. That was a joke. I don't know if anybody's laughing, but yeah.
I'm laughing.
So this Web3 just solves that problem because, say for instance, Kemi right now, she is a budding writer. I don't know, her range right now, but say for instance, she starts minting her short poems, her short articles, and I mint some of them maybe for $0.1. And because she is very interested in, increasing her skills, in growing, in, getting more partnerships, I think, by the way, side idea, I think more people should be very, strategic about partnerships, whether you're an artist or a musician or a writer or just anybody. You should be very strategic about your career. Yeah. So that's just by the way. And I buy some of Kemi's early NFTs by supporting Kemi and through that and those NFTs. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Kemi ensures that I make money. I could decide to keep some of these NFTs for like 5 years, 10 years. And then right now I'm going to decide, this is when I want to cash out. And it will just change my life. I'm not just a supporter. I'm not just one voice screaming in the crowd. I'm not just one voice shouting, or fighting on Twitter, Twitter fingers, telling everybody the video over Wizkid, that's just the limit of my contribution. No, if people say, are you a Wizkid fan? I say yes, and I go and take a picture of, are you a Chemist fan? I say yes, and I go and take a picture of my wallet, and I show you that, yeah, I am a fan. And through that, I also think that, fanship as it is practiced today, it is very horrible. For one, Wizkid recently, I think in December, he said that he wasn't going to be performing in Nigeria, and people were shouting, and that was it, And then, as a Wizkid fan, Wizkid doesn't even know you. I know I'm saying this in a very informal way. Please read my documents. But this is how I choose to speak today. I think that we're taking the rewards of Web3 for granted. If you have an artist friend today that you can see that they have a star that will shine. I think that the best thing for you is to try as much as you can and convince them to join Web3. That's the best thing that you can do for anybody right now, both for them, both for future fans, because you're ensuring, there's just a way to feel connected to your people. It just helps. You might decide, sometimes I see, in 2019, I was a very broke student. So Don Jazzy did a partnership and sponsor, not Don Jazzy, Burna Boy, with one company, and they said, run and create an account, and you're going to get 2K from it. And then I created and I got my 2K. It just helped my student life that day. That's the only, as a Burna Boy fan, if I were a Burna Boy fan, that's the only benefit that Burna Boy gives me. I find it horrible. There should be a way for Burna Boy to pinpoint his true fans and say, I have 3 million listeners every month, and I have evidence to prove that fact. Here are all of my 3 million listeners. I send them goodie bags once a month or once in a year. I know how to pinpoint them. If Spotify shuts down today, where even as budding creators, where are you going to take your music? Like, where are you you don't have access to all of your fans. You are allowing streaming networks control your fans, control your. Okay, I'm trying to create a new newsletter, and I'm not using Substack. I'm because of Web3, because of the knowledge I now have about ownership, about owning your community, about owning your means of creation, about, having access to my people. I am going the old way, the old method of creating my new website from scratch, so that I have access to my people, I have access to my community, I have access to people I'm giving goodie bags, I have access to. Oh, Esther is holding back. Okay, I'm not. I have access to just. No, it shouldn't, Kemi. I don't believe it. I think that I know people. Okay, maybe it's the kind of person that I am. We go.
I think
Yes,
that
it
was
shouldn't be.
example.
Thank you.
Shouldn't
Oh my
be.
goodness. I'm a very I have principles person. If you tell me we should go to some place and you're going to give me 3 eggs, I want those 3 eggs. I don't want 2.5 eggs. That's what I want. I think that my time has value. I did like a research. I was doing research very recently into this guy Naval. If you're in the tech space, you'll know who he is. He says that you should put a price on your time. And I tried doing that. I decided that, okay, if I'm looking to, I mentioned at the start of this that the reason why I couldn't prepare a much better document was because I'm job hunting. And my salary range is $80,000 per year. That's how much I'm looking for, like 80,000, 86, all and above. And I actually had to calculate that per hour, like, oh, how much is an hour of 80,000 or $84,000 per year? And it just came up to $250. And I'm like, this money is small. This one is very tiny. But also, I know how long it takes me to, maybe if I'm listening to music, if I'm trying to Google someone, I know how long it takes me. Your time should be valuable. Your standship should be valuable. Whether you are trying to, again, side gist. The thing I'm trying to do now is creating courses, right? I mentioned that. And all of the courses I've been creating have been coming from YouTube. I basically just curate courses. The first one is copywriting. So I've been going on YouTube, collecting links, posting just something as simple as this. Let me just share my screen and just show you what that looks like. I started creating it for a friend, but I decided I'm just going to sell it. So one is just to help someone become a better copywriter, get clients. I find that people usually, when they're looking for a job, they're just, I'm job hunting. But this curriculum I'm creating will help the person hone their skills, also help them create I have work because I gave assignments as well. So if they're job hunting, people say, and their job says, give me evidence of work you've created. The assignments I attached, right, will also help them solve for that. And as I was taking the links off of YouTube, I was saying, YouTube needs to pay me for this work. I'm basically curating links. And if I sell to 100 people, I've brought traffic to YouTube. That was all the thought I had in my head. YouTube needs to pay me for this work I'm doing. YouTube needs to say, as a curator, I was even thinking, is there a way to email YouTube once I have 1,000 people buying this one course in particular, and tell YouTube, give me a way for just a way to see that all of these links can be traced back to me. That was all the thought I had in my head. There should be a way, and that's the entire idea of the creator economy, of this creator economy course and ownership economic course that I'm talking about today. Time, there should be value to your time, as someone has basically rounded up. There should be value for you should be able to receive value for your time, contribution, and effort, whether it's to a platform, whether it's to a musician, whether it's to a filmmaker, whether it's to a writer. It's also why I love the Black people model. When they cancel you, you are canceled. Like, they will all not buy from you. I was on the internet, I was on Twitter when that baby was mouthing off, and they all agreed not to buy his tickets anymore. And before you knew it, that baby was begging everybody to buy tickets. But today, Wizkid will do something weird and outrageous, and people will still go and buy his work. I find it very infuriating. You have power, just as we've shown with, our voting. I'm going to assume I'm speaking to Nigerians here and some other Africans. Just as we've shown with voting in Nigeria in these past 2 months, you also have power with, over whomever you're listening to, over whomever you're supporting, over whomever you're standing. They also have power over you. I'm speaking to fans and creators as well. They also have power over you. So you should be, hi Grace. So you should be considerate, give people value for whatever, give people value for supporting you, and people should receive value when they support you. Yeah, that's the general idea of what I wanted to talk about. Kemi and I talked about her asking me specific questions, so that I'm hitting all of the problems on the head. So please, if you have questions, turn it in. It just helps me direct my energy. Yeah, unfortunately, Okotie.
Kwesi says Nigerians don't cancel anybody. Fortunately, we haven't realized the value that we have, the value of our power yet.
Left to me, I would just give everybody the power of canceling. Be able to turn, like, I think the problem is people are afraid to. I was talking to I always talk a lot, so my sister is usually bears the brunt of my talking. I'm of the opinion that people should hold grudges. Like, be able to hold a grudge, forgive, but be ready to not talk to somebody for 2 years if it comes to that, for a tiny thing that they do. Like, be able to have values that people can point to, that, oh, this is what this person stands for, so that, like, when someone does something to you, you can turn your back. And I also think that part of the problem is people are trying to be seen as good people, even though you are inherently not good people. I told my sister the other day that success, if you go on, this is a segue, BB Ninja, you will not get any fans. And she was like, why, Esther? I'm like, because you don't have a personality. I was like, no. I said, yes, I see you, I know you are fine. Like, my sister is very tall. But, like, sorry, Amazing Grace. I'm going to come back to that. You don't have a personality. Why? Because you're afraid to annoy people. You're afraid to offend people. You should not be afraid to do that. If you mistakenly step on people's toes, you should be able to apologize, but don't be tied down by trying to seem nice all of the time. And that's why Nigerians don't want to cancel anybody, because they don't want to be seen as wicked, even though they are wicked inherently. But, like, yeah, Amazing Grace. We talked about the creator economy, and in straight terms, the creator economy refers to community of independent content creators or curators who utilize digital platforms to share their work and earn a living. That's what the creator economy is. The creator economy is also the current. Everybody who is holding a microphone today, anytime you go on your IG and you see someone holding a microphone saying, oh, today is the living day, just trying to advise you, or people on TikTok dancing up and down, or just people posing pictures and trying to gather followers. Those are the people that make up the creator economy, including writers on TikTok, on Twitter as well. If you tweet on Twitter, you also make up the creator economy. So that is what the creator economy is. The idea, by calling it an economy, it's saying that people who do all of these things that we take for granted, whether they are writing, whether they are singing, whether they're dancing, whether they are taking pictures, the idea is that they should be able to make money from, doing all of the things that they do on a normal day, and by gathering, fans, by gathering followers, they should be able to get paid, be able to earn money and get paid for their time and effort. One way that they do make money through the creator economy, these people, is by getting sponsorships from companies and all of that. But another way is that they can monetize their communities directly by selling ebooks, by selling ebooks, by selling tickets, by selling any of the maybe you are a writer, you can sell tickets to like a writing commune for people to learn how to write. So that's why it's an economy. That's the idea of calling it the creator economy. I hope that this makes sense.
Yeah, she says thanks. And just touch on this a bit. I think we need to remember back when being like a creator, like a creative used to be like, oh yeah, jobless Nigerian. It's like many people thought that why would you do that when you could just like have a corporate job? But then people are starting to realize the importance of all of these like roles in society and the fact that we need to get paid the same way you would pay a banker or anyone else that wears a suit attire. And that's the point. And beyond that, it's just like the reward cycle. Give reward to people who support people who support you, basically. That's the entire point of it all. Like having a community that is genuine and like reciprocative, basically.
That's very good. Thank you, Kemi. Yeah. So Grace, before you came in, we were talking about like a wrong one level, the level that's higher than the creator economy, which is called the ownership economy. We touched on that by saying that the ownership economy is the idea that as creators, you should own not just posting on TikTok. When TikTok is shut down, all of the videos you've uploaded on TikTok, whether you've been on TikTok since 2020, it all goes kapoof. And all of the followers that you've garnered on TikTok or IG, they are gone. So the ownership economy is the idea that you are able to pinpoint all of the people that have been following you on TikTok in some way by leveraging NFTs, by leveraging any of the Web3, by leveraging tokens. And when you own your community, so to speak, you also give them value and to encourage them to keep following you, to keep supporting you. And that just helps more people this person gives her followers cakes, on their birthdays. I'd like to be respected. I'd like to be associated with this group. And more people keep coming in and more people keep coming in. That way, everybody, you own your community and your community owns you. That's just like the layman way to explain that. So, yeah.
All right, guys, you can keep the questions coming. Someone said local host, and I think I saw something about this recently in another community about like, and I think it goes back to what Esther was saying about like taking away from these people who like use your data, for example, and you're not necessarily getting anything back. Like Instagram is designed to keep you in there, but you're spending hours and hours that you could put in something that you actually own into like helping them run their business. Like there's no reward for scrolling through Instagram, but they are getting so much like data that they feed to advertisers on your behalf. But going local host means like finding a platform that serves you directly, getting a newsletter that you can communicate directly with your community, building out a product or whatever it is, selling something directly, just going local host, like your own host on your own platform, basically. But yeah, if there are any more questions, please drop them in. I curated some for this event, so in between, I will just like talk to you directly and ask some questions and stuff. So, someone says, "Dear, are you still there? Are you?"
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm not frozen. I'm not Elsa or something.
Grace, I shared like a slide earlier. I don't know if people who just joined can see previous comments. You can just share. Thanks.
All right, so there's a question here. and it's about like innovative channels. Because when we talk about Web3, we have to think about like innovation, the tools that exist that help us stand out, basically. So, could you share some examples of innovative channels you've used to expand your reach, especially as an African in this region? What tools have worked? What tools have been really good for connecting with like other Africans? Yeah.
To be honest, as much as we talk about the good side, we have to be very, very, very honest about the bad side as well. I I think that I've been left, Web3 as it is practiced today, I've been left kind of disappointed, both by the practitioners and both by apps as well. I used to, like OpenSea, which is one of the major NFT platforms. It is also democratized, so you can just create a profile and then be on your way. You don't have to apply to anybody. Like, let me just type that. So, where, something. So we open C, please could you transfer that to the other groups so that. Oh, thank you. That's a lovely question, Grace. Right. Thank you for that question. The creator economy, as I said, is not tied to Web3. It's just your normal Web2. So if you wanted to get started as a creator, you just need to decide where you see yourself participating. Do you have any latent skills that or do you have any skills that you've been practicing before? Are you a singer? Are you a writer? Are you a songwriter? Are you a curator like myself? I tend to say that I'm a curator. I shared my screen about the course that I'm curating right now. It just depends where you see yourself thriving. And wherever you see yourself thriving, you can basically start making use of Web2 tools. If you are a photographer, post your pictures on IG, tweet your pictures as well. If you are a writer, use Mirror, use Substack. And when you start seeing more people aligning with your work, you then start utilizing Web3 tools to sell to them. So that's what I'd say about that question. Does that answer your question? If not, kindly rephrase. And I'd just like to talk to you to know your problem and like what you mean by being a consumer. Exactly. Thank you. Fashion illustration. I know a lot of people who do fashion illustration, actually. There is Jenny C. She's a Web3 creator. She creates, I'm no longer affiliated with the project, so I don't know. I left there in 2022, Kotier. So Jenny C creates designs and sells them as NFTs. I'm speaking to Grace right now. And then I have a friend, his name is Hubris the King. Hubris, he basically does fashion illustration as well, but for Web3 companies, and participates in fashion-related Web3 companies. That's what he does. So you could think about going in that direction, Grace. Although I went, I went to the Web3, to the Afrodroids Discord the other day, because like I own 3 Afrodroids. And I think they were talking about, still speaking with some people on the side. They just announced it, but I can't see to the legitimacy of that announcement because I'm no longer affiliated with the project. please, who has more questions? So I'll be able to.
Yeah, let's keep the questions coming, guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to speak up. It's a learning space, it's a learning environment. So please feel free to ask any questions you might have.
I also think it can go both ways, Esther. If there's any question you want to like ask to gauge like the reception of space, you can also ask questions and they'll answer.
Oh yeah, I'd like to ask Okoti what he does. Although it sounds like and what he does in the Web3 space specifically. Although it sounds like a Dengen. I see, tough times. It sounds like a buyer. And Marvel, it's nice to see you again. I know it's you, so oh yeah. One of the problems, the toughest problem that African creators face in Web3, visibility. And yes, you can tell. So I have very strong opinions about a lot of things. Let me quickly share my screen about on this visibility problem. So recently, I've been seeing a lot of there was a project called the Web3 Yearbook Project. They said that they were highlighting people, creators, builders who've been in the Web3 space since 2020 specifically. That's what they said. And they wanted to give them a way, just appreciate people. And even if I'm not a buyer, even though I'm not don't say a grifter. Grifter is a negative term. A grifter is a thief. It doesn't have any, positive term. A grifter is just a thief. So, Okote, please. So I don't know how many people know Meta Mike here, or Magic Mike. He used to be Magic Mike, but now he's Meta Mike. He's being like a huge proponent of Web3 and NFTs. And these people were doing this, this yearbook plan. And even though you don't mention my name, maybe I don't buy NFTs of 100K, I don't have a body or, any other thing, you should at least mention Magic Mike. These people just kept making lists of white people and white people and white people. They actually reached out to be interviewed, but like, you are not highlighting any African. So they reached out to Faces of Web3 to interview them. I was like, okay, you're not highlighting any African. I'm not interested in this project. I'm so sorry. And then some other projects, this Boys Club Crypto, they did another project. They did a zine where they're highlighting, creators as well. The only creator they chose is like Call Me Latasha. If anyone is she's a musician, but like she's basically the white people's project. Once white people just take one person and make them their pet project so that you say you don't have any cost to say, but they don't support us now because they can now tell you, we are supporting that person. If we're not supporting you, why is that person prospering? That's what they do. So this Call Me Latasha is a white person project, and that she's the only one they chose. So visibility is a very big problem. A way to combat that, I basically created this document, like, okay, what is Black African art? How do we show that we are in this space? Some people think that putting African masks in all of their work is the only way to show that they're African creators. While some other people think that people who put African marks in their work are not true creators. So where is the sweet spot? So a way to solve that, I've been trying to work on this project to just show that, okay, we've been here for a while, both, collectors, both builders, both community managers, we've been here for a while. We need visibility too. Like I'm still in talks with a lot of people, Magic Mike, Code Collective, African NFT community, just to prop us. We have create a media run where we're highlighting a lot of creators, a lot of builders, a lot of community managers, a lot of artists, just showing that, oh, we are here, we are in this space as well. And that's like one of the problems that exist in Web3. Okay. Do you want me to do representation? So visibility is one of the problems. And then the second problem that we have is the fact that the money, Africa is, Nigeria. We want people to buy our NFTs, but people who look like us, they don't want to buy our own NFTs because they feel like when they invest in our own NFTs, they won't get value back. So that's another problem. Africans who have money don't want to buy African art because they feel like when they, as an African, they won't get their money back. They won't, get profits. And then the rest of the Africans who want to buy African art, they don't have money to buy the African art. So it's just it's not looking good. So the people were begging, oh, please give us visibility. They don't want to give us visibility because they don't have, they don't have any incentive to give us visibility. All right. Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you. Yeah. That's a community question, and that's a branding question as well. The best way to get people to join your platform is basically pinpoint the first 10 people who are passionate about, the same problem they are passionate about. And that's like the best way to start. Just pinpoint your most passionate people. I am with a team like, with this project now, I'm sure that the Float Anywhere team, they basically pinpointed people they knew were passionate, not just, oh, I can be passionate about anything you want me to be passionate about, but like, oh, these people are really good. I wanted to, give a random kudos to Kemi. She's very steadfast. I don't know if like she was on my case, Esther, 15 minutes time. Esther, I'm like, oh God, even if I wanted to be late, this woman will not let me rest. Okay. So that's like the kind of people that you need as your first people. Just get your first, pinpoint your first. Oh, you could just like I did like a Niger Flooded project where I raised funds for David, I'm coming. I did a Niger Flood Aid project where I basically raised funds for affected communities during the Nigerian flood. We raised 5K. I gave it to communities in Bayelsa and Rivers State. Instead of I saw a lot of people tweeting, oh, flood is bad, flood is horrible, oh goodness, what are we going to do? Instead of reaching out to people who were helpless, I basically reached out to people who were already doing something. We had like 5 people in that group, and there were 5 people who were already doing something. They were saying, this is my account number. I've bought bags of water. They were showing pictures of buying bags of water. And then I reached out to them. I was like, hi, I'd like to do an NFT project to help raise funds for you. And I see that you're already doing something and that there are community members who are already vouching for you. So instead of trying to gather everybody and say, oh, please come and help us, because that way, that's how projects tend to lose like their goal, their mission. I basically just called those 5 people. And when I started having meetings with those 5 people, created a Notion board, created a plan, and started fundraising, that's how we got more people to show interest. Even we had, creators, artists who donated artwork as well. I tried reaching out to like 20 people at once. I got no response. But then I got like 4 people I knew that anytime I call them, they will come out, they will answer me. Maybe those 4 people donated work and started retweeting those works. More people started retweeting and joining the group as well. That's how to get your 1,000 people. Machiavelli, I'm saying that name. I don't know if that's what you typed, but yeah. My African art document, I cannot share that. It's a pet project. Sorry. If you are interested in joining the project, once we make it open to everyone, because we want to make it decentralized as well as manage it. So once we announce, I will make it open to everyone else. You can go ahead and read once like everything else is finalized. I don't know. Are you saying I should? Someone said, make the slide isn't clear. Which of the slide, Daniel? David, sorry. Is it the slide with the African Is this document with the Black African art or the slide with the ownership economy document info? Which of the slides do you mean, David? Do all NFT collections need to have utility? It depends. Are you a normal Spotify artist trying to draw more creators to your side? Then the NFT you airdrop to your to your fans is just an NFT. But if you're an NFT company, yes, your NFT collection does need to have utility. You research, Grace. You do research. I spend all of my time online. I do a lot of research. A lot of research. When I wanted to start my team at Faces of Web3, I got my people by researching. It's a lot of work, but that's the price you have to pay. Because if you mistakenly I have suffered it. If you get people who are not as passionate as you about solving that problem, they don't need to be passionate about your company. They just need to be passionate about the problem. You just need to see them tweeting about, oh, this is a problem that I'd like to solve if given the chance. Then you call them to you. Because if not, you just get people who once they hit like two hardships, maybe you people had a plan that in 2 weeks time or in 3 months time, money will start coming in. And things happen all of the time. Plans don't go as they are supposed to. You hit snags. And when those things happen, you see people saying, they start murmuring, they start, taking from the idea of the group and just saying, you said money will come in 2 days. Money hasn't come. It's now 3 months. Money still hasn't come. And that just deflates your energy as well as deflates the energy of the group. As an individual, how will you get people to buy your collection? The best way to get people to buy anything from you is to brand yourself online. You can brand yourself online by posting pictures of your work, or links to your work, well, as a designer, as a writer, as an artist, and you can talk about your process. As a writer, as a researcher, as a curator, as an operations person, I really love the idea of process. I haven't always done it. It's something I've been trying to get into lately. If your process can just be, for instance, I tried to build a website and I failed, it didn't work out. I tried to build Faces of Web3, I failed, it didn't work out. I'm doing other things in the interim. Or I tried to do this thing and it worked out so well. Here is how I did that. Just talking about your work, talking about the thing you do, it's the most, I often say that a way to make money online is the hardest and yet is the simplest. All you have to do is talk about your work, put out work, talk about your work, put out work, talk about your work. And it draws, even if people don't act like they don't see your work, even if they, throw their gaze away, you are actually already acquiring and accumulating fans and buyers, if that's your, So when you say, one day someone buys from you and, it just skyrockets, that's a way to. How did I launch Faces of Web3? There was no official launch. I basically had an idea to help solve the visibility problem for creators. And at the time, the only way I could do that was through interviews. So I reached out to like a couple of people and they hadn't responded. I'd been reaching out, they didn't respond. And I was like, okay, this is the last person I'm going to reach out to. This person doesn't respond, I will know that this is a flop. And so I reached out to one person and she responded. We did the interview the same day around like 5 p.m. And that was how we started. There was no official launch. There was no classic preparation. I just did the thing. Faces of Web3 is a community looking for ways to help creators, make money. For instance, with this Black African art, one of the problems we're looking to solve, as I've noticed, is like there are a lot of creators who are just coming into Web3 and they haven't sold a dime. So in trying to do this project, we're looking to basically create a very, very amazing magazine sell it online, and send the percentage of profit back to creators. Look for partnerships, make sure that it's given to the right creators as well. So we're a company that basically thinks of ways to help make money for creators by solving all the problems that creators face. David, I hope I answered your question. So.
All right, guys. If you still have any more questions, please keep them coming. I hope that I want to ask a question, right, about the creator economy. And I want to ask you personally, from your POV, what do you see as the future of the creator economy? What do you say 10 years, or 10 years is too far even. Let's say next year, or by the end of the year, or in 2 years' time, what level of growth do you see, especially in the African space? And what changes would you make to make those, what you envision better than, I know you understand what I'm trying to tell you, right?
I do know. And
Yeah.
you're asking me all of the questions that I, keep mulling over in my head all of the time. So not the speculation part, I won't say it's from me. This is like general knowledge. If you just Google creator economy, you see that it's a 1 billion, 2 billion, depending on whoever is speaking. It's a $100 billion economy, just depending on whose research you're looking at. But unfortunately, so I've been saying I'm trying to set up like 2 more companies, just pet projects. I actually applied for a 100K grant for one of the projects, and it's like one of the projects. My goal with that project is to help companies help creators think like businesses. One of the things I don't know if maybe I'm not seeing the problem, as well as I should, but even in personal career advancement, I don't think that Africans, I don't think they think about their career, their creations as strategically as they should. By career, again, is with the copywriting project I'm working on. I first want to sell the course, and then newsletter. If you subscribe to the newsletter, you get articles like how to think about problems, how to position yourself. Those are the articles you get. And then with the creator problem, you get the problem I want to solve is I feel like a lot of African creators, obviously just the ones I've seen a lot more who are doing different things. They are jumping on the wagon of basically just dancing on TikTok, making weird faces on TikTok, and basically just getting followers that way. There are other ways to make money as creators, basically sharing knowledge. You could just start writing, talking, maybe painting faces and just talking, sharing things. I don't think Africans are as strategic as they should be, which is why platforms keep paying us throwaway money. Like, how can you pay white people $100 and pay Africans $1? It's horrible. And as much as I can cry that, it's because we're poor, it's because they hate us, and it's because of racism. I personally know it's because we are not positioning ourselves well. And one of the problems I would solve I'd like to solve if I wanted to make the $1 billion industry, of which is the creator economy, I would like to make that money come to Africans, is to help African creators start thinking like businesses. There's this guy, he's Mr. Beast. A lot of people know him. He said that he was making a lot of money, and some other YouTuber had the same number of people, and he wasn't making as much money as Mr. Beast was making. And Mr. Beast, the guy who came to Mr. Beast and said, "How can I be like you, Sensei?" so to speak. And Mr. Beast said, You can be like me by hiring people who can do what you want to do better than you, and just focusing on the thing that you do best. So you are a creator, you talk. Get people to, get a better cameraman, get a better editor, get a better writer, get them to join your team, and all of you should share the money. But as Africans, Nigerians, we tend to want to keep all of the things for ourselves. We tend to not want to, diversify. We tend to not want to, what's the word for it? Just there's this word, allocate. I have ADHD and a little bit of, I'm on the spectrum, so words fail me sometimes. In case, just full disclosure, they don't want to allocate work. Just take this thing and take it off of my hands. So it's very hard to operate as businesses, which is like the DAO idea. Just a simple way to do that in Web3 is just create a DAO, get your first 6 people. You want to make pictures, everybody should do their work, and you people sell it, whether you are selling in Web2, whether you're selling via Web3. That's how you make money. That's how Africans join the, what is it DAO? That's how Africans join the line and start making money through the creator economy. That's how I would solve the creator economy. Although, as I said, I also think that a lot of Africans do not think about their job strategically. As someone who was at the point, I was managing 11 people. There's nothing I did not do. Again, is why I was like, I have to give kudos to Kemi. There are people who I would give them, what to do. They would not do it. I would talk and talk and talk, and then work would just be super. There's nothing I didn't do. Managing people is a lot of work. So yeah, division of labor equity. Thank you. So those are the problems I will solve. Help people think strategically about their work, which is what I'm trying to do on one hand, and just help creators think like businesses, so that like both ways it starts to pay off in the long term. Twitter is the best place because that's where you see people tweeting their honest thoughts. That's where you see people tweeting, their honest opinions about things, because you don't want to work with people who, although they are posting nice pictures on IG, you find it's not their work. A DAO, it simply means decentralized autonomous organization. That's what it means. That's the full meaning. But it means something more. As Africans, we don't have the leisure. We don't have the time to take things, to want to own our own businesses and be sole proprietors. You have to collaborate with people. And, I've seen that people are reticent. People don't want to collaborate with people because they've been burnt. Personal story, I saw 2 guys on Twitter. I know when they both started, one person was the artist, one person was the business head. And then the artist didn't know that the business guy gave him a contract to sign where any art he creates belongs to the business guy. That's what he signed. He didn't know. And in 2 years, the guy told him, the guy was siphoning all of the funds. And also as well, the business guy, the guy who was the business head, would own 90%. And that was what was happening until the guy was like, I can't take this anymore. You're giving me, this is a partnership. This is not like an employee kind of thing. So why are you paying me, what you're paying me? And he wanted to fight. And the guy brings out contracts, and then he finds out that, he owns nothing. All the artwork he's been creating for the past 2 years now belongs to his employer, so to speak. So by using the Web3 model of the central, and then the Kataefe issue, I don't know who knows that, where one person sang the song, one person wrote the song, and it was just fighting for a long while. I don't trust anybody. So the idea of the decentralized autonomous organization is by using the Web3 model, you can use existing tools. You don't have to go and start coding from scratch. You can use existing DAO tools to make, both of us, we are going to go into a partnership. There's a tool like Safe where both of us have to just connect our wallets. Every time anything sells, money comes to that wallet directly. And if both of us, we do not sign, nobody can take money out, by themselves. It's just like a joint account. But Web3 just solves that with the decentralized autonomous organization model. So, yeah. It's a very it's a lot of problem, DSA. We don't trust each other. There's no trust. There is people don't want to work. I have people tell me I really don't want to work. Like, I even employed my siblings. These people, they know I sacked them. I had to fire them. I'm like, okay, I'm too close to the problem. I can't control you. I can't shout at you. When I shout, they go and report to my mommy and my older sister. I'm like, okay, I can't continue. Like, no, be like this. We go the day. Bye bye. So it's a lot of problem. Yeah. Again, with my copywriting, I'm trying to solve the problem for my sister as well. She has the same problem. A friend of mine has the same problem. He's been working for 5 years, but we found out that he doesn't really like the job he's been doing for the past 5 years, and he doesn't know how to, move. It's why I'm starting with copywriting, because this person likes copywriting, but they didn't know how to, just to propel themselves to change careers. They're like, oh, how will I change? How will I grow a new skill set just like that? How will I get new clients? How will I get a new job? So I was like, okay, these are the problems you have, Abby. My sister has the same problem. All right, let me try and solve this for you both by creating this course first of all, and then you are cute, DSA. They've taken your light. Anyway, so yes, that's why I did this. Any ethical consideration I need to be taken into account when it comes to the creator economy in Web3? Don't steal people's money. That's all. Don't help people to trust you when you say you're going to keep your word to your people. Yeah, just keep your word to people. Don't steal their money as well. Also show that you are working. If people buy your collection, show them that you are on it. You're developing your career. You're growing. You are not the same. You're not using the same style as you used 5 years ago. No growth. You're not making any partnerships. Like, even as a worker, one thing I've been doing is trying to basically get more people to say my name in rooms. It also helps you, even as you're trying to grow your career. It also helps you increase your salary so that you're not, earning the same thing as you are earning in 2010. So yeah. Can I launch my collection without a fan base? You can, David, but the problem is you won't sell. So you need a fan base. But you can launch you won't sell, but all you have to do to now eventually sell is talk about the collection, talk about what moves you as a creator. And not, oh, I'm poor and I ate 5 chicken. I only drank Gary for the past 2 years. No. As a creator, these are the kind of things that move me. Work that, I like to create work that evokes feeling in people. These are the kind of films I like watching because they all point to who I am as a creator. Of Nepal.
Hey guys, power is back.
Nice.
All right, keep your question coming.
Yeah. Great guys. How's it going over there? How are you doing?
All right, let's just do like a quick check-in with the listeners. I hope everybody's good. Can I see some emojis if you guys have been following up all through before we start taking the next question? How are you guys feeling? I hope you guys are comfortable. I hope you guys have learned a thing or two. All right. Learning so much. That's fire. All right. I think we can take the next steps ahead now.
Oh yes, Web3 has advantages. People who try to insist on being, for one, as an African creator, one of the disadvantages, how to convince, if you have existing fans, to come over to the Web3 side because of you. You know, who are you? Are you the video that will convince me to go and create a Web3 wallet, and I'll create a Web3 wallet? And from there, the problem of scam. I told my friend the other day that I think that one of the ways that people's wallets get drained is because of all of these wallet watcher apps that people created. They created the wallet watcher apps so that you can see, oh, who is buying what NFT, so you can run and go and buy it. But scammers are also watching the wallets as well. So once they see that a lot of transactions are going on those wallets, they will drain you. In fact, I went to liquidate my ENS really recently, and I had ENS tokens. And as I liquidated it, I wanted to leave it on my MetaMask app. I told myself, it seems you are stupid. I quickly sent to my Binance because I don't have any strong I don't have strong passwords. They will hack me without batting an eyelid. So I quickly just sent to my Binance. So those are some of the disadvantages of Web3. You can get scammed. The learning curve is too high to just convince people to come and start creating wallets and all of that. And then you're not a big creator yet to offer any incentive for people to come to Web3 for you, which is why you have to start from Web2, grow as a creator, and by using Web3 tools as well. And then from there, you can basically, before you know it, someone is creating wallets, and it's just very natural for them to do so. And obviously, there are companies trying to make Web3 easier and more as easy as can be. I think quite recently they've launched something on Ethereum where there are almost no tokens, and there's a phone number thing for you to create a wallet. I think I saw it a while ago. So Web3 is going to get easier and easier. So yeah. Side note, I always think of that first mover as an early adopter, you go suffer. So suffer it now and then enjoy later. And what I mean is that early adopters like myself, we used to pay gas fee of $100. What did I did buy? But now it's very cheap to do so. So I think you should give it time as much as you can right now. Start incorporating tools if you can. And then when it gets very easy and people are trying to just learn, you'll be making money and they will be coming to you, come and teach me. That's when you will make your own money. 4337. I don't know what that is, Okoti, but okay. Okotie, not Okoti. Shebi.
But yeah, just touching a bit of what Esther has said. First mover's advantage is a thing. I mean, it's tough, but if you start learning early, it's definitely best that you start now. I mean, nobody really knows what they're doing even right now, all around the world. It's worried. I think that's what kind of what I can appreciate about Web3, or this sense of Web3 rather, is that you can kind of have a feeling about what's going on around the world, around the space entirely. From just sitting down in your house on Twitter where you are compared to the rest of the world. And to be very honest, if you are in this space, you are ahead of the curve. Most definitely, you're still ahead of a lot of people. So yeah.
What's my major goal in life? What a tough question, interviewer. Oh my goodness. Actually, my major goal is to I want to become a better person. It's very large. It's very, every day I'm striving to be better, whether to be a wickeder person that I need to be, but grow my skills. Okay, let me just do this. So yesterday, I don't know if this is a very informal group, but yesterday I don't smoke weed. Very open. I don't smoke weed. But a friend visited me and left one stick of something here. And I took it. I was like, oh, let me smoke this thing. And I took it. I was like, oh, wow, this thing has entered my head. And I fell asleep. And as I was, still delirious, I started thinking about the fact that one of the problems I have with myself personally is the fact that because of my ADHD and my, being on the spectrum, I coasted through school and uni, and only started taking life and work seriously as soon as I left uni, because I knew that, oh, I'm the breadwinner of my family. I take care of my sisters and my mom, and I need to make money to, feed them. So that's why I started taking life seriously. Anyway, and although I say I'm a generalist when I'm trying to apply for work, if the only reason why I say I'm a generalist is because I don't, all of the skills that make me a generalist are community management. This is full disclosure here: community management, project management, operations management. But I don't really, I won't say I'm an expert on any of those things. I just know a little bit of all of those. And so when I'm trying to look for a job, I get scared if they ask me a lot of questions. So in that high, I was like, oh, what's a way for me to stop getting scared about this problem? What's the way to solve this problem so I stop being afraid? So as I said, I was creating something for my friend. I just said to create something for myself as well. So I created my own sheets. You can see it there where I've said here, level up workbook for Esther. So I'm going back to grammar, English grammar, like primary school English grammar. I'm creating stuff for myself here. And while at that, I'm also trying to become a better public speaker, become a better marketer. Here are all the things I'm doing: introduction to public relations, strategic planning. This is a 3-month plan that I created for myself, starting from now, next week. First month, month 2, here are the things I'll be focused on. Month 3, here are the things I will be focused on as well, so that I am more strategic. I come off better as someone who knows what she's saying. So let me just increase that for, so month 1, so level of work for Esther. Month 1, here are the things I'm focused on: advanced public speaking, market research, business development skills, email marketing, media relations. Month 2, event planning, execution, financial management, diversity and inclusion, crisis and communication management. And month 3, community management, operations and processes. Here are all the things I'm focused on, just to, become a better version of myself and make money, because that's a very big deal for me. Thank you, Grace. So
yeah, we have another question. It says, identify what you want.
I think that's a
right. All right, that's a pinpoint. My bad. Identify what you want and work backwards to your goal. Make small but incremental steps. Very vital, guys. That's a gem right there. You should write that down in your notes. By the way, if you don't know how to jot things down, it's a life hack, guys. Always jot stuff down. It helps your brain remember stuff easily. It helps you learn faster, right? So whenever you see something that gives you insight, please jot it down. Knowledge is power, like they say.
Always right, guys. That's one valuable life skill that cuts across anything you're ever gonna do in this life. Be a good writer or a communicator in general. Whatever you're gonna be, whether you're gonna be behind the desk. We think about it now, many technical people in this day and age. I know there are people coming from business operations background, like me and Esther, and we're trying to learn technical skills, but it's also the other way around. The many technical guys that been so used to being in front of just their computer. But I mean, the reality of things is you need to be able to communicate if you're going to be able to sell yourself and sell your own thing. So write more, practice, communicate. I think we have another question here.
Yeah, we do. From your experience, how long will it take for an NFT collection to be successful?
It just depends on your idea or what your idea of successful is. Someone's idea of successful is, all right, so I sell 10 NFTs every month, or I sell 2, and it just pays my food and my any other expenses I have, and I'm very good. There's no timeline. then, if your success metric is, any of those, there's no timelines. I can't give you a timeline at all. There are people, there's this guy, there are people who've been, thriving, who've been in the Web3 space since 2021. They're only now just making sales. So, let me hold your destiny, sorry. So,
Right, that question. In the next 5 to 6 years, how feasible is it for AR, VR to be accessible to everyone? And to what extent can NFTs be integrated into XR to enhance immersion and interactivity, or more technicality?
That's above my pay grade. I know nothing about that. I don't dabble in the AR VR industry. That's like a miracle or a Projizi question. That's not me. Me?
Yeah, guys.
Definitely.
Save that question for one of the sessions that will come up through week 2, KD. All right, that question will be answered thoroughly through one of the sessions through week 2. All right, so hold on to that.
How I organize my idea? Okay, maybe each part of session. Start the idea of marketplace. Focus on the. Should I show you my marketplace? I have to show you my marketplace. I work a lot though. Figma file. What's that? So I'm going to just share my screen. It didn't work out because we just dropped the idea. It's not feasible. The people you want as your customers, Africans, there are not a lot of African, creators for you to go and create a marketplace for them. And how will you make sure that they sell, which is their problem? For you to be creating a marketplace, you want to help creators sell. Who'll be your contact? Do you have any contact that you can ensure that they will make sales once they're on your platform? Or, it's just like that. So that's like, even though even though my project wasn't a marketplace per se, it was basically like a portfolio project. We still had to basically leave it behind because, design playground, final iteration. We just had to leave it behind because we'll now start looking for how to pay, engineers, even though I already paid for the designer to design this. It didn't seem worth it, so I basically dumped the idea. So this is the project that I designed. I wrote the cover. I wrote the concept notes myself. I wrote the user stories myself as a product manager. I did the UI designs on paper and shared it with the designer. So this is how the project was supposed to be. If this is a Web3 project, anything you own on the internet will just appear on your dashboard. So we are leaving that, we're keeping that by the side for now. So I can't really help you because it didn't work out for me as well. Can you see at this screen dashboard? Yeah, so this is like the projects that we worked on for Faces of Web3, and we had to leave that behind. So I really can't say anything to that. How I organize my ideas, I basically start with the question I have in mind. This is basically what has been said here. What is my question? Once I have that question, I go researching. I usually have like 20 tabs open. I do not lie. I kid you not. I have 20 tabs open and I start reading. And then every line or phrase or sentence that jumps out at me in my, when I'm reading, I put them in my notes app. And once I'm done, I then gather all of the ideas and create like a document. That's how I organize my ideas. I hope that answers the question.
All right, we have more questions coming in.
Oh, okay. Right. Mental models. People tend to say first principles thinking. Till now, I know what it means, but I don't know what it means. I don't know if I'm actually exercising it. They say, oh, go to the very bottom of a problem and then, break it to the smallest parts and, that's how you solve the problem. I think it's a fancy word. I find that a lot of things that have fancy words, I have been doing them from scratch based off of the way I grew up. So I grew up hawking, and I grew up on the main road, selling on the roadside. I used to sell with like 100 other people. Like they all sold the same thing, pineapples. Like there'll be like 20 other people selling the same thing. Customers can see all of your 20 things. And my mom's pineapples were usually the most expensive one. And she would leave me there and say, Esther, you must sell this thing. So my mental model is do not take no for an answer. That was my mental model. Don't take no for an answer. I don't feel shame. I don't feel embarrassment when I'm trying to hawk my stuff. I don't owe anybody niceness also. Even when I wanted to get my first job in tech, it was in 2020. A lot of people were learning product management as I was at the time. And till now, they still haven't gotten a job. And I got my first job by basically going to anybody and DMing them and saying, hi, this is what I can do for you. Hire me. Someone who has been working for 5 years doesn't earn as much as I earn now, basically because I don't take no for an answer. I want it more than you do. Like, I want to tell you that I want to win more than you do. I want to win more than I care about getting embarrassed. So yeah, that's my mental model. And once I get tired, I always acknowledge my tiredness. If last year I told a lot of people that I spent all of the year crying because of like Faces of Web3, I had never gone through that in my entire life. So once any hardship comes, I will cry. I will tell my sister I am crying. I don't want to talk to anybody today and tomorrow. And then on the third day, I will dust my slippers and I will start again. The Igbo have a saying, Ifechanya, you stand up again. Igabazi. So yeah, that's what I do. I also pay attention to my brain. What am I feeling at this moment? I also try to think far. Is this strategy going to work? This person I'm trying to be audacious to. Is this the kind of person that you will appreciate my audaciousness? If not, then I don't even bother. So, because there are people who you'll be audacious to and they'll come and mock you on the timeline. And also do a lot of research. I can't say enough about this. Do research. It takes a lot of time. I can be Googling one word for like 3 hours. But like once I settle down to do the work, it always shows that, I did the research. So do a lot of research. I'm also trying to improve on that front. I'm still trying to improve, but yeah.
Yeah, so that's been real. Not gonna lie, it's very inspiring, especially in this part of the world where we all have our like individual struggles. It's nice to know that you put the work in, it always pays off. I mean, it's math, it matters to math. So yeah, guys, don't give up. Don't take no for an answer. Speak your truth. Sell yourself to as many people as you want. There will be more no's than yeses for a fact. But do a lot of research, be knowledgeable, but also realize that there's a percentage of the chance that you don't know everything. So also be willing to like learn from other people and like be open to alternative viewpoints. I think that goes a long way in like making yourself like a very notable person in this space. Oh yeah,
that's actually great. That's a good idea as well, because like once you take failure, you don't just say, oh, I'm going to keep trying again on a wall that you can see is a brick wall. Take the feedback and then quickly re-strategize.
Yep.
So which is
also be willing to don't hold on to like anything too strongly, because you don't know what the actual plan. I'm going to use the word God or universe, but I don't know what you guys stand for. But you don't know what the actual like goal of that thing is going to be. There've been so many products that have moved from what they initially was supposed to be. So if it doesn't work out, just like Esther said, take the feedback, see how it can be iterated. If there's no way to go again, don't be too scared to like scrap it and start from scratch. Like we're constantly starting from scratch, and the
Yeah.
best way
Some
to
cost fallacy is a thing. Yeah.
yeah. So I think there's a question here. I might have missed a bit. All right. So David,
Factors or criteria for every NFT collection. Oh wow. Um, Again, it just depends on the kind of NFT you're launching. Are you launching an NFT to tie it to, oh, I sell jeans, when you buy my NFT, when you buy my jeans and you have a wallet, I basically airdrop you this NFT. Then you don't need anything fancy. Unless you are like a collectible. And oh, okay. It now brings me to defining NFT types. There are two type of there are a lot more types, but two broad types of NFTs. There are one of one NFTs and there are collections. One of one NFTs mean that that's when you have only one of that type of NFT existing. Of course, creators might create one type of NFT and create like 5 different editions of it. But with one of one NFTs, okay, it's like an artwork, for instance. Chidinma Nolly, who's a very famous artist that I like, you buy one of her work, you know that's the only one that exists forever and ever and ever. Cannot be duplicated. Chidinma will not make another one. Even if she makes something else in that style, it's not it. And then there are collections, which is the ones we've been conversant with for the past 2 years, with the Bored Ape, with the Afro Droids, with all the other type of NFTs that exist, with the ones that people ape into and quickly flip and make money. So if you're a one of one, artist, I can't tell you how to launch your NFT collection. I don't have, I shouldn't do that. And if you are a collectible, it also depends on what kind of collection you are. Some people like the doodles. They wanted to create a collection that will give people okay, sorry. A very big example is even here with the Bensing NFTs and the Buju NFTs. Who cares what Buju wanted to give you as a fan or who buys the NFT is access to his shows and some other goodie bags. So who cares what he looks like? But if you are a person who likes beauty, you might decide to hop on, make it very beautiful. And there are no criteria, just, go ham. Think about your customers, do market research. If you're a collectible person, who are the people I'm trying to serve? What would they like? And then you answer their problem from there. For instance, again, I was doing research today about my curriculum project. My research involved, okay, who is my customer type? Just graduated university, still in university, about to leave university, out of a job for 4 years, stuck in the same job for the past 5 years. So how do I serve them? That's how I walk back from there. So that's what you think about when you're creating your NFT collection. Who are people who will buy this work? Who are the people I'm creating for? Who are people I'd like to this work to resonate with? So that's how you do your thing.
all right. I also wanted to mention real quick for David as well. I don't know if you were here at yesterday's session, but we had like a whole NFT blockchain masterclass, and the session is live. So if you're registered for that event, or otherwise, you may be able to watch the recording again. So like Ben was here and he like delved into it like real deep. So everything you need to cover. Sorry guys. There'll also be like we'll also share his what's it called presentation, slides with all the details. So might be helpful.
Well, as it exists currently, when we aped in, the mantra in the space was Wagami. It was, people don't realize how pregnant that was. It just says we're all going to make it. It's like your westernized version of Ubuntu. You know, we are for each other, whatever Ubuntu means. It was very pregnant because you know that okay, we're all looking after each other. We're not going to cheat each other. We're not going to scam each other. We're not going to as influencers with a lot of followers. We're not going to sell or influence people to buy work that is going to be rock pulled. But like it quickly devolved. People said, we began to distrust each other. And because of that feeling died. That's why people say NFTs are dead. But the people who are still holding on, who have built their community from scratch, who are still trying to build the right kind of environment for their collectors, the collectors that they've brought in, and who still have a very tight hold on the kind of artists they bring to their community. So yes, NFTs as the type of NFTs we saw in 2021 and early 2022 are dead, but there's a new version kind of rising from the dust. So yeah, that is what I have to say.
All right, all right. Any more questions? Any more questions, guys? If there's an absence of questions, can I see some appreciation for our guest speaker today in the person of Esther Eze? She has shared with us a whole lot. Can you guys appreciate Esther Eze for coming to speak to us today? Can I see your comments, fire emojis, hearts, whatever it is? Let's appreciate her for coming through to expound all this knowledge to us. Like she said, it definitely takes a whole lot of hard work and trust. Everything that she has spoken to you today is a ton of hard work, her time, her energy, her tears, like she said, as she cried through her days, right? It is blood, sweat, and tears, guys, and it's everything that should be appreciated. Thank you so much, Esther, for coming
My
on
pleasure.
here. Yeah, great to have you. Any last words, Kemi? What are we doing?
Sorry, guys. I almost lost track of time, but we have reached the end or close to the end of the session. It's been amazing, guys. As always, thank you for showing up. If you are obviously because you are here, you will have access to the replay of the space. But it will also be uploaded on YouTube.
Thank you,
I
Nia.
don't think we edit anything from this session. Everything went smoothly, so we'll upload it as soon as possible. Oh, Nias is here. Hi. Um, thank you so much, guys. It's been an amazing session. Esther, do you have any last words for us? Anything you want to leave the audience with?
I'm going to thank everyone for their kind words. Thank you. Words I want to leave with anyone. I don't know. Just don't stop. Can't stop, won't stop, don't stop. I know that even the current climate today, as I'm job hunting, I am very terrified as well. I can't imagine whatever you're doing right now, whatever work you do, how you must be feeling as well. But always in some part of your mind, regard yourself as special. I'm very delusional that way. I think that things don't apply to me. Like, okay, they're suffering. It's not me. I also try to help people as well. I give a lot of my money away, which is why I'm poor. But just keep going. Also, always paid for. There are people who will go through hardship, and that determine that everybody will suffer as they have. But always keep, as much as I'm delusional, if everybody says, oh, that person is horrible to me, I won't go and say, oh, it wasn't horrible to me, so I will go and meet that person. I will block you before it comes to me. So I am delusional about my career prospects. Be delusional about your career prospect, be delusional about your future, but also, keep everyone in mind, care about each other, and yeah, that's it.
Thank you so
All
much,
right,
Esther.
all right, all
Thank you so
right.
much. So we've reached the end of the session. Like Esther said, just to recap a bit, be kind to everybody I mean, this Web3 space we're preaching about is all about collaboration. But beyond that, build your universe or your space yourself to be valuable enough that you would receive valuable contributions from your
Yeah.
community. So yeah, guys,
Very
it's been
important.
super real. Yeah,
Oh, if you
someone
want,
says
I'm selling my course. I was like, before jumping on here, I was trying to build my website, my no code website, so I can launch the course. So if you're interested in the copywriter course, it's just 10,000 naira.
I
Ask for
shared
my
the link.
email.
Okay.
Just follow me on Twitter to DM. I want it via the website because I need people's emails. If not, I would
And that's
sell
fine. I can
everything.
send you the list of the attendees from this space, the emails.
Just if they are interested. If not, there's no problem. So
All right.
yeah. Oh, please share my Twitter handle. Eze Esther _ on Twitter.
Yeah, guys, follow our guest speaker, Eze Esther _ on Twitter.
Yep.
All right,
Very
guys.
original, strong. Yeah, don't make anybody believe anything else. The only thing you should listen to yourself. Like you're special. You're the only
For
one that exists.
sure. You are
Oh,
special.
anybody that doesn't make me feel like I'm special. I don't have a lot of people in my space for that reason. Because like both of us have to be on the same wavelength that I'm special. And again, I'm the kind of person that will trek to London for you. So I need you to want to trek to London for me if it calls for it. So that's the kind of
Yep. You're
thing.
settled,
Sure.
guys. Find your people.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're gonna call it a night. So hope you
All right,
guys
guys.
get enjoy the rest of your evening till next time. And next time is next week Wednesday. So we start with a fireside session with lyrics. So it's less educational, it's more vibes, music and chill. So definitely show up for that one. All right,
Yeah,
guys.
guys.
More information on the website, on our social media. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, guys. Dream impossible.
It's one good.